YouTube Nation. It's for your success. Dr. Brandon 4, giving you a special trip in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, where we're going to be doing the Estes Canyon Trail, but the trail takes you to the tallest peak in all the National Monument, Mount Ajo, 4,808 feet. Welcome to southern Arizona, just 5 miles to Mexico in the heart of the Sonoran Desert. Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument was created in 1937 by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It is a huge area of southern Arizona, known for its Oregon Pipe Cactus, which I will be showing you throughout the hike today. It is an amazing day today. Normally it is unbearably hot here, but since it's January, the high temp today, 65 degrees. It's currently in the mid-50s, and the hike itself is 9 miles round trip with a total elevation of a little over 2,500 feet up and down all the way to the summit and back. It's a fabulous day. No one's here. This is a very desolate area, so I'm really excited to show this hike. It's my first time out here, and I think we should get started. Normally on a hike like this, I don't sign in, but because this area is so desolate, it's probably a good idea. No one has signed in today. Touching anything here probably is going to make you hurt. There are just an insane amount of cacti here. All of those are the Oregon Pipe Cactus. We'll pass a few probably up close, but they are massive, and this is the only place where they grow in the United States. The trail is well maintained by the National Park Service, but only for a few miles. The hike to the summit, we're going to have to do following cairns. The good news about the trail is once you get to the park, you have to go to the visitor center. It costs $8 to get in, unless you have a National Parks Pass. But I believe the fee is changing now. I think they're changing it to $12. This is an Oregon pipe right here. Now, this one has some components of it that are dying, but it is really big. This one here isn't super tall, maybe about 12 feet. They can get as high as 25 feet and 15 foot wide. Lots of saguaro cacti as well. They're all over the place in this park. In fact, I've seen more saguaro cacti here than any place I've seen before. See those holes? Wrens, woodpeckers, owls, lots of creatures. Lots of birds live in cacti. Oh wow, here's a great prime example of some Oregon pipe cactus. Man, they're huge. looking south towards Mexico. And down in this valley, where the wind is, ranchers from many years ago in the early 1900s would bring their cattle here for the winter. Because apparently this side of the National Monument gets almost 12 inches of rain a year. Hard to believe there's all this grass, but it's due to the rainfall. That's why the cattle were brought here all those years ago. The two trails have met up. I took the highway first, high point ground. We're going to keep going, and then the trail eventually ends and then turns into the man-made trail that we're going to have to follow all the way to the summit. Boy, when the two trails met, it's about a mile. I bet I've gone up 800 feet. That's what doing the incline is for. The incline's in Colorado Springs, 0.88 miles, and just a little over 2,100 feet. Click on the left-hand top side of the screen. See that awesome video. We've reached full pasture. I'm assuming the trail goes this way, heads up, and then cuts all the way across to the summit. And I'm thinking that this is a sign-in sheet to be able to go to the summit. Oh. All right, the rest of this is primitive trail. I'm off the interstate. I'm on a county road now. Trail in the cairns and see where it takes us. But so far, I think I'm enjoying my view. Looking forward to getting to that ridge. That is a big agave plant. Like I said, the trail isn't hard to find so far. The difficulty is trying to make sure that I don't bleed and get stuck or pricked by anything that's going to make that happen. And let me tell you, there's a lot of it on the trail. Interesting little arch. Looks like I'm heading that way. One thing about this hike so far is if you're not used to hiking in the desert, you're probably shocked how green it is. Well, it gets quite a bit of precipitation. Makes a difference. The hike has turned into a challenging scree slope. I've reached one of these first little ridge lines, but I got a ways to go before I start heading to the summit. Talk about a strange rock formation. I want to share something rather fascinating. This bush is blooming flowers. I never thought I'd see this here. Look at all the lichen on this rock. Pretty stunning. I'm gonna wait till we get to the top, but to give you a preview, the views are gonna be pretty awesome. Boy, I'll tell you, we're just a few days into January and it's warm up here. Temperatures are definitely in the 60s, if not warmer, and that Arizona sun, whew, it'll get me ready for the mountains in Colorado. I can't believe what I just found. A juniper tree below 5,000 feet near the border of Mexico. Incredible. Finally got to the ridge and on my way to the true summit of Ajo. Walking along the top of the ridge. Just below the summit. Be there in 1 second. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, incredible views up here on Mount Ajo. 4,808 feet, tallest peak in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument. I know you see the smoke and what looks like to be a town. That line right there, that is the border between the United States and Mexico. Way down there is where I started. See that parking lot? There's one car there. That's my car. It's still there. All right, that's good news. I kind of need it to get back. They said on a clear day, you could see the Gulf of California in Mexico. It's a pretty clear day. I'm pointed at the right angle. I don't think I see it though. I wanted to point out that they have a sign-in sheet, and since 2013, I am only the 22nd person to summit this mountain. Man, this is a great hike. Gives you great panoramic views of Oregon Pipe National Monument here in southern Arizona. The hike to the summit was a little over 5 miles, so it's going to be about 10 round trip. Took me 2 hours and 30 minutes to summit. That's pretty good since more than half of the hike you're trying to find your route to get here to the top. You know, Ernest Hemingway once said, to be a great writer, you had to bleed on paper. Well, as a hiker, if you're going to summit Mount Ajo, you're going to bleed because you're just going to hit some cacti because they're all over on the trail, especially coming up. Probably going to have the same issue coming down, but I think the views are worth it. So heading back down, we're going to cut across the ridge, go behind this ridge, head down, you'll come down through here. You don't see it yet, but the trail will come through here, cut down, and then way down there, trails meet up, head back to the car. Hard to believe there's all this grass up here on the ridge line before heading down. Not bad, huh? Coming down off of the ridge, I lost the trail 3 times. And I gotta tell you, for your success is pretty good at finding trails. And I just came up that trail. That just goes to show how tough it is right here to find it. And even though I was only 25, 30 feet away from the trail a few times, you gotta add in the cliff goes like this and elevation. That certainly adds up. But I'm on the trail now. It is still toasty today. We'll head over here and start heading our way down. Heading down the scree slope. The difficulty with the scree slope, outside of the fact that it's probably about a 35% grade, is you're trying to slide and not run into cacti. I want to let you know, that's not the easiest thing. Alright, just got out of the scree slope. That's the good news. Bad news is I'm back in the sun, but we're on our way. Back on the main trail, you can see the road down there is the finish line, and then the trail, you can see, cuts all the way back down. One last look at a giant Oregon pipe cactus. How was that journey? Come on, you gotta admit, that was pretty awesome. And to know that at the summit, that I'm one of just 22 people that have gotten to the top of Mount Ajo in the last 2 years. Man, what a hike. And it's early January and it was scorching coming down, the rocks heat up. I can't even imagine doing this hike past March. But man, thank you so much for watching. If you like this hike, you got to make sure you subscribe. I've got a great group of followers that make comments. I always appreciate that. Thank you so much. The ads that you see, please click on those because that's how I fund these hikes. I appreciate all the things that you do for me. I got over 115 hikes from the tallest peak in Maine, Mount Katahdin, to 3 amazing hikes that I did back to back to back in Yosemite National Park. Thank you so much for watching. Here's to a great 2015 for everybody. We'll see you on the next hike. Until then, get out and enjoy nature.